coming up behind mansion walls. They say love conquers all. But in Palm Beach, there's one thing that trumps love every time. Greed.
You don't give me what I want,
I want a divorce.
I'm gonna come and shoot everyone.
His net worth in real estate was approximately $100 million.
Buying cheap properties, manipulating people, driving people out. Ugly businessman.
Fred Keller's millions have not bought him happiness. After a lifetime of hard bargains, he's growing old, is in the early stages of leukemia, and he's lonely. He's desperately seeking an attractive young wife to take care of him and to provide him with an heir before he dies.
Fred met his women through putting ads in the newspaper or magazines saying rich Palm Beach millionaire, seeks younger woman.
He's already been married to 4 different women. Now he's looking for number 5.
He was a proud German. That's why he placed a personal ad for a nice German girl in a German magazine.
His father was pro-Nazi. He taught his son that Germans were superior, and Fred believed every word of it.
In the spring of 1992, a love letter arrives with a German postmark. 23-year-old Rose Kyle is everything he'd hoped for. And for this German Rose, Palm Beach Fred is her ticket out of poverty.
Rose came from this little town in Germany. She was looking for a way to get out of that little town, out of that life, to find a rich older man and move on.
On March 26, 1992, Rose arrives in Palm Beach with nothing but the clothes on her back. But she knows that life with Fred Keller will change all that.
Rose came to the United States in response to the personal ad, expecting to stay 2 weeks. She never went home to Germany.
Fred confides to her that he has leukemia and perhaps not long to live. She doesn't seem to mind.
Both were interested in having a child, and they were married, I think, within 3 or 4 months.
3 years later, the Kellers have a little boy. Fred is so besotted with his new family, he even lets Rose in on his business affairs.
Fred tried to bring Rose into the business. Rose was quite bright and was interested in becoming part of the business.
Good going.
At home and at the office, Rose is doing everything right. So Fred rewards her. For a while, it's one big happy family.
We have a courtyard on both sides.
Fred is content with his beautiful wife.
I love you, Fred.
And she's given Fred the perfect male heir he wanted. But Rose still isn't satisfied. Having millions isn't enough for her. She wants to flaunt it.
Rose? What are you doing in that dress?
I am going to...
Rose wanted to go out to these balls and become part of the Palm Beach social life.
Rose once lived a humble life in a small German village. Now she's on the Palm Beach cocktail circuit. This transformation isn't quite what Fred has in mind.
Take that dress off right now and make me dinner. I don't want to hear any more about it.
He longs for the small-town girl he married, a stay-at-home mom who'll cook and clean.
Fred was a traditionalist, and he felt the mother of his child should be home, taking care of the child, and he became very controlling over her.
Just what's going on here? Where's his homework? Where's his math?
But the hard-headed business tycoon meets his match in Rose Kyle.
I've had enough today.
He's a young man.
She walks out on him, files for divorce,
What do you mean?
and demands half his fortune.
I want a divorce.
Fred claimed that Rose had called Fred one night and said, if you don't give me what I want, I'm going to come into the business and shoot everyone. He began to become afraid of Rose.
Fred claims he fears for his life. He sends a fax to the Palm Beach police, warning them about Rose's threat. And it's not the only precaution he takes.
He began carrying a gun.
Tensions are high when Fred meets Rose and Wolfgang to discuss splitting the company.
I have some coffee for you.
And before that day is over, one of them will be dead. A meeting is called at Fred Keller's office.
Oh, well, you're on time. That's unusual for you.
Okay. We have a copy for you to see.
You have a copy.
Rose's brother Wolfgang joins the estranged couple.
Here is your copy.
What happens next is hotly contested by both parties. But there are a few things on which everyone agrees. There was a gun, a violent struggle, 3 shootings, and a death in Palm Beach. Where they find Fred sitting in a corner, bleeding from the head. And the way he tells it, he had to use it in self-defense after mistaking Wolfgang's cell phone for a weapon.
He said when Wolfgang sat down, I saw him put down what I believed to be a gun. Fred said, I became frightened and believed that Wolfgang was there to kill me.
Fred says he shot Wolfgang as a preemptive strike, but he struck back, and in the struggle, Rose caught friendly fire. Then, Wolfgang wrestled the gun away and tried to take an eye for an eye.
Keller and James Sullivan, 2 working-class men driven by greed. Starting with nothing, they had everything to gain. But when they'd got it all, the millions, the mansion, the beautiful wife, they threw it all away. Money gave them glamorous new lives, but there's nothing glamorous about death. Not even death in Palm Beach. Till next we meet, behind mansion walls, I'm Christopher Mason.